The deceased have to be disposed of properly. And one of the best ways to remember a loved one is a cemetery. Well, in the 1900s, cars weren't as common. So, a quick issue arises. How do you move dead people around? Well, Victorian Railways quickly capitalized on this, and the Dead Express was born. In this video, we will be covering the Springvale Cemetery line's history, closure, rolling stock, route, where it is today, and will services resume. The line was built in 1902 by Victorian Railways to transport dead people to the newly established cemetery in the former outer suburb of Springvale. It was completed in 1904 and came off at Springvale Railway Station on the current-day Pakenham and Cranbourne lines. The line was built as a double-track line with one railway station, that railway station being Springvale Cemetery itself. Springvale Cemetery Railway Station has had a lot of names in its time, such as Cemetery, Springvale Cemetery, or Necropolis. The line was mainly used as an easier way of transporting the recently departed, but also had a regular passenger service for visitors. To help with the transporting of the recently departed, special hearse vans were built, which were used all the way until the line's closure in the 1950s. The line was one of the last loco-hauled passenger services in Metro Melbourne, until electrification happened in 1921. Necropolis trains ceased in 1943, as running Necropolis trains wasn't seen as profitable anymore. Regular visitor services ceased 7 years later, after Victoria just had a 55-day coal strike. However, special services ceased on the 19th of December 1951. In the following years, the line was quickly cut back, first west of Sandown Racecourse, and eventually the line was truncated back to Sandown Road. Soon, all that was left of the line was a short nub parallel to Sandown Road, also known as Siding B, an electrical substation on the junction of the line, and a sanction base in the cemetery, which now has a nice plaque next to it. Rolling stock. Post-electrification, the line was frequently used by Tate and Swingdoor electric sets, which was the network standard at the time, so nothing special there. Victorian Railways prided itself to give the best ride possible, so, to appease the deceased, special hearse vans were used. They were built from either converting old four-wheel Louvre vans, or specially built, such as the New Orders in 1903. These luxurious vans were double-decker, able to hold 7 passengers per floor. This technically makes them the first double-decker carriages to run on Victorian soil, and one of the very last. By 1912, some of these vans had been worn out, so what did Victorian Railways do? Cut off the head and surgically attach them to the body of a newer van. This allowed them to transport 20 passengers at a time, 10 passengers per floor. When electrification of the Springvale Cemetery line was complete in 1922, 4 of these vans were modified to allow them to run off the swing-door sets. After the cancellation of the mortuary train, the vans were stored for 6 years until they were finally scrapped or sold, but there couldn't have been too many buyers given their original purpose. You can still see one of these vans today if you go to Fawkner Cemetery in the north of Melbourne, either by train or by car. Route. The Springvale Cemetery line ran through what is today housing, Sandown Racecourse, and Graves. The line curved off at Springvale Railway Station, following Sandown Road at the down end of the station. It curved north to the present-day Moshi Circuit, until cutting through the car park of Sandown Racecourse and Racecourse Drive. The line would curve with the curve of the racecourse, cutting through the sticky outbit. The line would then go right through a pub, and then curve upwards following Third Drive. The line would then curve east at the roundabout of Main Drive, Third Drive, and North Drive. It would follow 4th Drive before terminating at the intersection of 4th Drive and 5th Road, at Casuarina Lawn 2. The railway station was a singular platform with a siding at the down end of the station, used for storing the hearse vans and resting stock. The station had no amenities, and I don't even think it had a station sign. A loop around the whole cemetery was proposed, but nothing was ever built. it would have run on the outer lawns of the cemetery, which are kind of filled in now. Where is it today? Today, most of the remnants from the 1970s have been completely removed, such as the substation and Siding B, as they were removed along with the removal of Springvale Road level crossing. A plaque has been placed alongside one of the old sanctioned bases in the cemetery, which reads, "Site of railway station for funeral trains," which travelled from the mortuary platform Princess Bridge Railway Station, Melbourne. Opened 1904, closed 1951. Will services resume? Services will never resume, as cars are much more efficient at transporting the recently departed. And I don't think many people want their loved ones to be carried in an unglamorous box. But if services were to be reinstated, then how would you move the train? Get one of the Y-Class shuttles at Southern Cross, or recommission an E-Class and bring back electric goods trains? You would also have to rebuild all the hearse vans, as only one singular van survives. The line would also cut through existing housing, Sandown Racecourse, and the Princess Highway, which isn't going to make anyone happy, not road users, as a bridge has to be built over the Princess Highway, leading to lane closures and delays, not Sandown Racecourse users, as they lose the big tail thing, and not residents because their newly built houses will have to be demolished. Springvale Railway Station is also in a trench now, which it wasn't when the line was opened, so the line would have to come out of that, not to mention the facilities inside the cemetery, which would have to be demolished, like the Wellbeing Center and graves. Where would you load the coffins? Southern Cross? Princess Bridge is long dead, so you can't use that, and at that point, wouldn't it be easier to just move them one by one? Or take them to St. Kilda Cemetery? And if you think about passengers, a bus does the same job for cheaper and better. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video about the Springvale Cemetery line. If you have any suggestions on what line I should do next, then leave a comment below. If not, I'll see you later.